Shares of Live Nation falling in today's session as the Justice Department announces it is suing the Ticketmaster parent over alleged antitrust violations. Joe Berchtold is Live Nation's president and CFO. He's with us now exclusively, along with our own Julia Boorstin. Julia?
Thanks, Scott. And Joe, thanks so much for joining us here today. On the heels of this big news, I want to start off with the allegations that the DOJ and the state's attorneys general are filing that Live Nation Ticketmaster has engaged in anti-competitive conduct by, among other things, threatening and retaliating against venues that work with rivals and restricting artists' access to venues. How do you respond to that?
Thanks, Julia. At its core, I think what the DOJ has accused us of is being drivers of higher ticket prices, higher service fees for fans when they go to shows. That's the core of it. And the facts just don't sustain that. If you look at the business results of our ticketing business, of our promotion business, the take rate of Ticketmaster is around 5%. Promotion side, it's around 2%. It's simply not enough profitability to sustain any real monopoly or control of the industry in the way they assert it.
But Joe, so much of this, so much of this suit is specifically about Live Nation using its size to squash competitors, including by acquiring companies that could become rivals in the future. I understand your point that this seems to be based on concerns about ticket prices, but how do you address some of those allegations?
Yeah, we fundamentally disagree with all of these allegations. If you look at the history of the acquisitions we've made, these tend to be very small local promoters, often buying festivals or establishing a presence in a market that we're not in. These are not promoters that realistically were ever going to be major touring promoters. So we absolutely disagree with the characterization that they've made today.
And the DOJ does say that Ticketmaster controls about 80% of primary ticketing. Obviously, that's a big number. Is that accurate?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely not accurate. We've been through this many times with the DOJ and with others. They're using an extremely narrow definition of just the top arenas or top arenas and stadiums in the country. That's not a market definition in any legal sense. It's a very narrow definition to the types of venues that Ticketmaster has developed its software to be particularly effective in. If you look at any level of broader, the top couple hundred buildings in the United States that are easily substitutes for where an artist can tour, our market share is in the 50 to 60% range. So they've cherry-picked to get to a higher number. It's not relevant.
Hey, Joe, this is Scott Wapner. I'm glad to have you on our program today. I just want to ask you a fundamental question, I suppose. A simple one, too, I think, in the minds of many, as to why the largest concert promoter, one that also manages more than 400 artists directly, should also control such a large portion of the ticketing to those shows that your artists put on. And how does that not drive ticket prices higher?
Well, there is no basis for saying that the ticket prices are higher because of any of our conduct. What the DOJ has done is they've taken a variety of random data points and put it together to create a thesis that we're somehow creating higher ticket prices. The ticket prices are driven in the marketplace by what the artist needs, given today's production costs, given what they see in the secondary as the value of their show, what a fair price will be. Our margins on that in ticketing was 1.7% last year. So if you took out our entire margin, all the money we made, that would reduce prices by 1.7%. It's just not what's driving the pricing in the marketplace.
I understand, but I mean, you don't think there's any, potential conflict of interest in the idea that you're the largest promoter, you directly manage the artist, and then you set the ticket prices as well, and especially when it's obviously a high demand show, you have the power to set the ticket prices ostensibly as high as you would like.
But we're not setting the ticket price. The artist is setting the ticket price for what the artist needs to make at the show. And we're then working with the artist to market the show, to sell the tickets, to get the fans in, and on the ticketing side to operate the platform. We went into ticketing because there was not an effective ticketing platform to sell concert tickets 15 years ago. We've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in Ticketmaster to make it unequivocally the best ticketing platform to sell concert tickets. Rival promoters regularly publicly have stated that Ticketmaster is the best platform to sell their tickets. We have a lot of data that we shared directly with the DOJ that demonstrated that shows sold on Ticketmaster empirically perform much better than shows that are sold on other platforms. So, no, we don't see that it's a conflict. We see it as mutually reinforcing pieces that deliver the best outcome for the artists and the venues that we work with.